A man lifted a huge boulder and smashed open a stone statue. Unexpectedly, a stream of golden sand gushed out from the opening. His companions immediately recalled something and began furiously striking the statues in front of them with stones. But when the last statue was destroyed, they were shocked to see the ancient stone pillars above their heads suddenly tremble and rapidly converge toward the center. The collision triggered a violent quake, and the ground beneath them collapsed, causing them to fall helplessly into a deep abyss. Upon waking, they realized they had arrived at the legendary Golden Castle of ancient Egypt, a place long sought by treasure hunters. Before they could even catch their breath, the steps beneath their feet started shrinking rapidly. In a panic, the group fled downward, but the steps disappeared faster than they could run, and they all fell to the bottom. Fortunately, a pool of water at the base broke their fall and saved their lives. Following the flow of the water, they discovered a mysterious cave. The moment they stepped in, the sight before them shattered their understanding. Golden treasures of astronomical value covered the ground. An old man among them ignored the riches and instead approached a dust-covered giant door, from which he took out a crystal-clear orb. This mysterious crystal orb turned out to be the key to unlocking the Golden Castle. The man never imagined that the legendary castle was actually made of solid gold, with every brick on the wall worth billions. Surrounding them were 13 crystal skulls. Just as they began to celebrate, they noticed one skull missing its head. Legend had it that whoever returned the missing crystal skull to its rightful place would have any wish granted. A woman eagerly grabbed the crystal skull from the scientist and carefully placed it onto the headless figure. In the next moment, an invisible force locked them together. The skull suddenly lifted its head, its hollow eyes coming to life as if examining the humans like mere ants. The scientist boldly stepped forward and began speaking to the skull in a long-lost Mayan language. The skull slowly responded with a deep, ancient voice, thanking them for returning the head and promising a generous reward to the one who had done so. The woman, overjoyed, quietly whispered a mysterious wish. However, the wish enraged the crystal skull. In an instant, the entire temple began to shake violently. The 13 skulls rose from their thrones and spun rapidly in the air, opening a rift in the ceiling that led to another dimension. Sensing the danger, a man rushed to push the scientist out of harm's way and drag the others into a desperate escape. They had to flee before the temple collapsed. One companion, driven by greed, continued hoarding jewels but was sucked into the other dimension by a powerful magnetic force and instantly turned to ash. Meanwhile, the woman was still immersed in her wish. The crystal skull forcibly poured vast cosmic knowledge into her mind. At the same time, the 13 skulls began to merge, ultimately forming a true extraterrestrial being. But the human brain couldn't handle such an overwhelming influx of information. The woman's consciousness shattered instantly, and her body turned to dust in the energy surge. The temple soon collapsed entirely. Traps mixed with torrents of water roared toward the group. Just when all seemed lost, a flood surged from all directions, sweeping them out of the temple through a side passage. But before they could rejoice, the retreating flood revealed a terrifying scene. The distant ruins were spinning at a visible speed. From the ruins, a massive alien spaceship slowly emerged. With a flash of blinding light, the ship vanished into another dimension. Massive stones, now powerless, plummeted into the abyss, and the incoming flood eventually buried all traces of the alien technology.